Hello everyone, and today we're going to start solving radical equations. So first thing we need to do with the process to solve a radical equation is start by getting the radicals alone if possible. So we want one side with just solely radicals. So if I had something like radical x plus 2 plus 4 is equal to 8, first thing I would need to do, and let me fix that 4, is I got to get this piece right here completely alone. So in order to do that, I got to minus 4 to the other side. Okay, the radical needs to be completely and utterly alone before I can go anywhere else. The next thing I need to do after I have everything set is we're going to square both sides of the equation. Because when I square both sides of an equation, like say x4 is equal to 6, by squaring a square root, it undoes the radical. So these here, this and this, completely cancel each other out, leaving just the radicand behind. So you'd have x plus 4 now equaling, and then 6 squared would be 36. Then after that, you're just solving the remaining equation. Then to finish, we need to go back to the original equation and plug in our answers to make sure they actually work. Because sometimes when doing these problems, you're going to find that the solutions won't work. Your equation actually lies to you and gives you bad answers. So you need to make sure that what you're doing and what you get actually work out great. So let's take a look at our first example. Radical x plus 2 equals 8. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is I am going to start by getting the radical alone if possible. Well, nicely enough for us, the radical's already alone. So we're all set. So our next step, square both sides. So let's square both sides of the equation. So I get this completely comes out of the radical. Plus, let me fix that. That looks terrible. X plus 2 is equal to 64. Okay? So step 2 done. Now step 3 says to solve the remaining equation. Okay, so solving x plus 2 equals 64 is simple. We're just going to minus 2. So x equals 62. Now the last part, we have to check our answer to make sure we're right. So for our check, what we're going to do is take 62 and plug it back in for x. So radical 62 plus 2 is supposed to equal to 8. Well, we do the math under the radical, so that's going to be 64. It's supposed to equal 8. And now do the square root of 64. Well, the square root of 64 is indeed 8. So since I got a nice balance, I know it's set, and that answer works. Now, if we did get an answer that didn't work, we would have to throw the answer away because it was a non-existent solution. Alright, let's get another one. Let's take a look at this problem right here. So first thing we got to do is you got to get the radical alone. But the problem is, my radical isn't alone. I have this plus 2 lying around. So we got to get rid of that first. So it's minus 2. So radical x minus 3 is equal to 4. So step 1, get the radical alone. Step number 2 is we are going to square both sides of the equation. So square, square. So this comes out. X minus 3 equals, and 4 squared is 16. Okay? Sorry for all the craziness. I'm at a dance recital, so it's going to get a little cuckoo, but I figured I'd do a little work while I'm waiting. Alright, so our next step, solve the remaining equations. So let's add 3's. Okay, so x equals 19. Okay.
Oh, I need to see.
Now our last step is we got to do this up. Check it. So plug it back in. So radical 19 minus 3 plus 2 is supposed to equal 6. Well, do this out. Radical 16 plus 2 is equal to 6. Square root of 16 is 4, plus 2 is equal to 6. So 6 equals 6, and we know we're set. Alright, so I'll let you try this one on your own. Let's see how you do. My daughter's going up to dance, so I will let you try this. I'll leave the video running for about a minute or so, and then I will come back after my daughter's done and see how you did. So good luck. Alright folks, I'm back. They're still setting up, so I'm going to take this time to do this problem with you. So first thing I'm going to do, get the radical alone. So I'm going to minus the 2. 3 radical 2x plus 5 is equal to 9. Now our next step, we have this guy right here. Now realize this is showing you multiplication between the number and the radical. So to undo multiply, we have to divide by 3. So radical 2x plus 5 is equal to 3. Okay? So now that the radical's alone, now let's square both sides. Okay? So 2x plus 5 now equals, and 3 squared is 9. Let's now solve the remaining equation. So minus the 5. 2x now equals 4. Divide by 2. So x is 2. Now we have to go back and check. Okay, so let's fill this in. 3 radical 2 times 2 plus 5 plus 2 is equal to 11. Okay? So now, our next step is we are going to have to, let's multiply this. 3 radical 4 plus 5 plus 2 equals 11. 3 radical 9 plus 2 equals 11. Now evaluate radical 9 is just 3. Oops. So that turns to times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Therefore 11 equals 11. So you're good. Alright, so here, I'll let you try this next one out on your own. And again, of course, but my daughter's now going on stage. They're actually going to go out this time. So I will let you try this one on your own, and let's see how you do. And I'll come back in about a minute, even if I have to pause the video. So, alright, good luck. Alright folks, we're back. So let's start. Get the radical alone. So add 1. 4x all over 5 equals 8. Now, square both sides. So let's square it. So radical 4. Oops, not radical. Because we squared, right? Silly me. Alright, so 4x all over 5 now equals 64. Now we're going to get rid of the ugly fraction. So it's times by 5 because we now are solving. So let's cancel. 4x now equals, that's 320 divided by 4. X equals 80. Oh, sorry. Gonna step away for a second. Alright, sorry about that, folks. Let me try this again. Now we got to do the check. Okay, so again, 4 times 80 all over 5 minus 1 equals 7. Do this out. So that's 320 divided by 5. Minus 1 is supposed to equal 7. 320 divided by 5 is 64. Minus 1 equals 7. Square root of 64 is 8. Minus 1 equals 7. So 7 equals 7. So you know you're good. Alright, I'll let you try this next one. Again, be very careful right here, folks. This is a trap. So be very careful. I'll give you about a minute to work on this, and then I'll come back and see how you're doing. Alright, here's our next problem. Now, I warned you about this. Can't go after me add these because this is showing you multiplication. Let's start by minusing 3. 4 radical x plus 1 equals 12. Okay, now we're going to divide by 4. So I still got to get rid of that. X plus 1 now equals 3. Okay, now from here, square both sides. X plus 1 now equals 9. Minus the 1 to finish. X is 8. So let's do the check. Alright, so now what we're going to do is put 8 in for x. So 3 plus 4 radical 8 plus... Nah, that looks awful. Let me fix that. Plus 1 equaling 15. Now again, do not add these. Work inside the radical first. 3 plus 4 radical 9 equals 15. Okay? Break the square root. 3 plus 4 times 3 equals 15. Now multiply. 3 plus 12 is equal to 15. Therefore, 15 is equal to 15. So you know you're good. Alright, one very similar to the last one, so I'll let you try this one on your own. Let's see how you do, but be very, very careful with this one. I really threw in an ugly trap on this one. So let's see how you do. I'll give you about a minute or so, and then we'll go from there. Alright folks, here we go. So let's start off. First thing I need to do, so it's minus the 5. So 2 radical 6x minus 9 is equal to negative 4. Okay, now we're going to divide by 2. Radical 6x minus 9 now equals negative 2. Now we're going to square both sides. 6x minus 9 now equals 4. Add 9. 6x now equals 13 and divide by 6. So x is 13/6. It's okay to get a fraction, but again the important part is we now have to check this thing. 5 plus 2 radical 6 times 13/6 minus 9 equals 1. So now I'm going to start inside the radical. Now remember folks, when we start in the radical, these cancel. Alright, so now we have 5 plus 2 radical minus 9 equals 1. Alright, now we do the work under the radical. 5 plus 2 radical 4 equals 1. Break down radical 4. 5 plus 2 times 2 is supposed to equal 1. Multiply 5 plus 4 is equal to 1. I'm going to go over my steps a little here. Therefore, 9 equals 1. Well, the problem is 9 doesn't equal 1. Therefore, this answer is a bad answer. So we have to throw this away. This doesn't work. This is not good. Now looking around, I don't have any other answers. Therefore, this is no solution. And this is why it is so important that you check your solutions to make sure that your equation doesn't lie to you. Alright, so that's the end of this video. Hopefully you learned a lot. And again, I'll see you in the next video.